In this video, I'm going to do two more examples using implicit differentiation, one where we just find dy dx and another where we find the equation of the tangent line. So for our first example, let's say we have e to the power of x squared times y is equal to sine of y to the eighth, and we want to find dy dx. I'm not going to give pause prompts in this video, so please, as you would on your own normally, just pause if you want to try anything out. So what I really want to encourage you to do is just remember that everything you have learned about calculus so far still applies. We're just doing the same rules we've always been doing, there just is sometimes y's involved in our business. We need the derivative with respect to x, so let's take the derivative with respect to x of both sides. And looking at these, I'm noticing that e to the x squared y is going to need chain rule. This is like e to the something as my outside function, with that something as the inside. And on the right hand side, I'm also going to need chain rule because I have sine of something, sine of y to the eighth. So we'll need to do chain rule as part of our process, which is just going to make us do a couple more steps. So for the left hand side, I'm doing the derivative of e to the something. That is itself, it's just e to the x squared y, but then I multiply by the derivative of the inside, multiplying by the derivative of x squared times y. Then, on the right-hand side, I'm taking the derivative of sine, that's cosine. I leave the inside alone, so the y to the eighth is still there. And then I'm multiplying by the derivative of the inside function, multiplying by the derivative of y to the eighth. If chain rule is something you're still a little hesitant about, I just suggest that you really focus on what the inside and the outside functions are, and maybe just take a second to write those down. The outside function is e to the something and sine of something, and the inside functions are the x squared y and the y to the eighth. That might help you out. Then I just have some more work to do to solve this. I still have some more derivatives to take. On the left-hand side, the derivative of x squared times y, that's going to require a product rule. So I leave the x squared alone, multiply by the derivative of y. Then I add it to the derivative of x squared, that's 2x, times y. So that's the derivative with the product rule there. And on the right-hand side, I need the derivative with respect to x of y to the eighth. So I do this normally, I just remember that I'm going to need to multiply by dy dx in order to account for the chain rule with y. So the 8 comes in front, the exponent decreases to 7, and then I multiply by dy dx. Okay, so we are out of d dx notations, we have successfully taken the derivative, we just need to solve for dy dx now. So this part is just kind of messy and involves a lot of writing out of steps, so I'll do my best to explain them. First, I'm just going to distribute the e to the x squared y into everything on the left-hand side just to get rid of as many parentheses as possible. So I'm getting x squared e to the x squared y dy dx, that's my first term, and I'm adding it to 2xy e to the x squared y. I don't know if it's really helpful to read this all out, so please do your best to watch the screen, I think that might be more useful. Then on the right-hand side, I just have 8y to the 7th times cosine of y to the 8th, times dy dx. The main step we're going to do here is that we want to put all of the dy dx terms on one side and everything else on the other. We're trying to solve for dy dx. And I'm going to subtract the x squared e to the x squared y, that first term on the left. I'm going to subtract it to move it over to the right. Then I can factor out a dy dx from the right hand side, since each of those terms has a dy dx in it. And I can divide by that whole mess to get dy dx equals. So I'm left with dy dx equals 2xy e to the x squared y all over 8y to the 7th cosine y to the 8th minus x squared e to the x squared y. That is so messy, but we did it. That is our derivative of y with respect to x. I'm really expecting that you have some derivative fluency here, so if you ever need to just take a second and try the derivative on your own to remind yourself of how it works, please do that. I've taken so many derivatives at this point that sometimes I forget what it feels like to be doing it for the first time. So be patient with yourself as we're doing these and understand that you might need to just take another second to go through it and make sense of what's happening. Whenever I'm learning math, I always have to stop and try it on my own and really look at it. I don't necessarily get it the first time I see it. Okay, that's it for the caveat. Let's try the next problem. So here I'm going to say we have x equals the square root of 9x minus y cubed. And we're going to find the equation of the tangent line at 8, 2 of this. So you should be thinking, okay, the tangent line, I need a point and a slope. So I'm really missing the slope. I want the change in y over change in x, the dy dx, of this expression so that I can use that as the slope for my tangent line. We have a point, we were given a point, I need that slope. So our goal is going to be to find dy dx and then plug in the point 8, 2. Okay, so let's differentiate both sides with respect to x. So on the left-hand side, I'm taking the derivative of x, that is just 1. On the right-hand side, I'm going to need to use chain rule. I have something to the 1/2 power. I'm rewriting the square root as a 1/2 just to help me out here. So the 1/2 will come in front, I leave the inside alone, I decrease the power to -1/2, and then I need to multiply by the derivative of the inside, the derivative of 9x minus y cubed. Let's continue taking the derivative. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to make that negative exponent positive by bringing it into the denominator of the fraction. And now I just need to multiply by the derivative of 9x minus y cubed. The derivative of 9x is 9. And then for y cubed, we bring the 3 in front, the power decreases to 2, and we multiply by dy dx, because we're taking the derivative of y with respect to x, and we don't necessarily know what's going on with y. We need that dy dx there. Then my next step is to solve for dy dx. I'm going to get rid of that ugly fraction by multiplying it over to the other side. So I have 2 times the square root of 9x minus y cubed is equal to 9 minus 3y squared dy dx. I'm trying to get dy dx by itself, so I'll subtract 9 over to the left-hand side, and then I'll divide everything by negative 3y squared. And I end up with the derivative of y with respect to x. Now I just need to substitute in the point 8, 2. So I'm evaluating this derivative at the point 8, 2. So we put 8 in for x, 2 in for y, and we simplify. I'm not going to read out all of these numbers, it's just too much to say. Hopefully you can follow along on the screen. So I'm getting 2 times the square root of 64 minus 9 all over negative 12. That's 2 times 8 minus 9 all over negative 12. So I'm left with 16 minus 9 over negative 12, which is 7 over negative 12. So I'm getting that my value for the slope at 8, 2 is negative 7/12. So I officially have a point and a slope, and I just need to assemble the tangent line. So I'm going to do point slope form. I do y minus 2 is equal to the slope negative 7/12 times x minus 8. And now I just need to simplify. I'm going to write my final answer in y equals mx plus b. So I distribute on the right-hand side. I'm getting negative 7/12x plus 56 over 12. That 56 over 12 simplifies to 14/3. I'm going to add 2 to the right-hand side. We can rewrite 2 as 6 over 3 for fraction's sake. And I'm left with my final answer as y equals negative 7/12x plus 20 over 3. Okay, so that wasn't super pretty, but we made it. We got our equation of the tangent line. And really, I think what you should take away is just the main steps. We take the derivative of both sides with respect to x. We solve for dy dx. We substitute in the point for x and y. And then we put together the tangent line with the point we were given and the slope we just found. So those are the main steps you're going to apply anytime you need a tangent line of something that is implicitly defined. Okay, hopefully that helped you understand how to write an equation of a tangent line when we have something defined implicitly, and just gave you some more practice with implicit differentiation. Thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next one.